Scott Britton here, Black Box Ambassador and Head of Battle Cancer and Move Forward Gym. Also Move Forward Gym Mark II, the home edition. So working with Black Box was a huge thing for me in terms of not only our incredible facility but also a little place where I could squirrel myself away. Certainly with the world that we're living in at the minute and uncertainty in terms of larger gyms, to have a little home project to transform my garage into still a slight garage, but also just a really good looking space with the best equipment I could get. So working with Black Box from the beginning was amazing. First of all, there was so much kit that they said I just don't need, and we talked about my training, we talked about the things that I normally do and the things that then I would actually need for doing stuff at home. And that was a huge thing in terms of working with the guys. They're not just there to just sell you loads of equipment, they're genuinely specialists in what they do, and they can help you plan out using your space, the area that you have to work with, and get it to work in and around what you need for your training. So for me, I've got this great space, it's not huge, I've got various beams and things to contend with, and the first thing was the floor. So before this floor went in, I absolutely destroyed this. It was 1920s concrete, there was two huge craters from dropping a bar, dropping the weights on here, and we need to re-concrete that and then get the flooring in. So the flooring is not super thick to kind of keep some stability, but also great for just taking any of that sting out when we drop plates, when we drop bars or dumbbells or kettlebells, and making sure that the floor doesn't have craters in it. And it also makes the heat in here so much better. The flooring just traps the heat in and it makes it not like torture coming outside and coming in a garage to train. The other thing is fitness equipment, especially during the first lockdown, got to the levels of just ridiculous cost. So paying for quality is obviously makes sense, but quite a few brands were just whacking prices up. And the big thing in terms of Black Box, and it's a massive thing for me, is that it's made in the UK. They make everything in-house. They've got it there and they've got it available. So they've never had to overcharge. They don't bring it in from China. They don't source it from other places. They make the equipment themselves, which means that they've got great stock, and it also just means that they charge you what it costs. They don't go crazy. So for me, when I looked at this, if I'd have tried to done this project with another company, especially just after lockdown, it would have genuinely cost me probably 3 or 4 times the amount. Certainly if I went onto Facebook Marketplace, I think one dumbbell would have cost me about £30,000. So to know that I can get some great stuff, it's made in the UK and gets dropped off, is just perfect. So now I'm just going to take you through each piece of equipment. I'm just going to give you a little breakdown of why I've picked what I've picked, and then we're going to show you a few workouts. So the first thing on the list for me was a barbell. So yes, I do love using dumbbells, love using other stuff, and especially those home workouts, but I'm not going to lie, I absolutely missed a barbell, and the first thing on that list was the Belfast Bar. So I've got a Belfast Bar. It's been a fantastic thing to use in here. It's super hardy. You don't need to go into the thousands upon thousands in terms of buying a barbell. Just get a great barbell that works, and the Belfast Bar is the one I went for. Next thing was the weighted plate. So like I said earlier, the floor and the floor ring in here was a massive thing. So to ensure I got the actual the HD bumpers. The bumpers are a little bit thicker. They're not made of that like chrome, which is like compressed. It's a thicker plate. Also, that helps a little bit in terms of the noise levels and dropping it. There's neighbours, they don't want to hear you kind of wrecking it Ralph at like 9 o'clock at night if that's the only time that you get your workout in. And also, I went for about 120 kilos worth of weights. Didn't really need to go much more than that. So like, yes, I do lift more, but when it comes to what I'm going to do in the garage, just to be safe, to just ensure that I'm getting a good solid workout and even some basic strength stuff, I just kind of kept it nice and simple without a competition plate amount worth of kit. So for me, that was all I needed, and that's what I've got in. The biggest thing in terms of that after, and like literally the biggest thing, is the box. So for me, a box is so many different aspects of the workouts I do, with burpee box jump overs, box step ups, using it to do various like tricep accessory, to do core work, also a huge amount of terms of mobility of my hips, of my quads, pistol progressions. So many things can be done with a box, and getting one of the wooden classical Black Box boxes was really key because it means it's stable. It's also really heavy, not too heavy that you can't obviously move it, but really heavy in terms of make sure that it's secured. I might have to do it outside, so if I'm doing it on like a slightly uneven ground, I want to know if I'm jumping on something or if I'm jumping on there, that it's going to be safe and I'm not going to go flying. Also, you can get really inventive with some workouts and use this for like D-ball over the box. You can do all kinds of fun things on there. But for me, that was a massive essential to be able to still do workouts and lots of accessory work. The next one was a D-ball. So I went for a 50 kilo D-ball. Again, it's fantastic having the choice, so you can go all the way from 30 up to about 100 kilos with the guys at Black Box. But for me, 50 was perfect. It's a good amount of weight. It's also something that I can do for workouts. It's things that we can use for accessories. A lot of core work can be done, a lot of stabilizing various injuries can be done by using an effective D-ball. So the 50 kilo D-ball was exactly what I need. And again, a sound reducer. When that thing drops, people don't hear it. So another massive plus. So if you want to come, I'll show you the next few bits that I've got. So a set of dumbbells. Set of dumbbells is absolutely essential. There's so many workouts, so many accessories that you can do with dumbbells. It literally can run into the thousands. You can do EMOMs, you can do AMRAPs, you can do bodybuilding accessory work. You can do everything with dumbbells. And even though I do like a heavy dumbbell, for me, being in here, all I chose was some 22.5s, some 15s, and I've actually got a 30 kilo dumbbell as well. But the vast majority of workouts that I use, the 22.5 is like your standard CrossFit functional fitness weight for a guy, and the 15 kilos are perfect for things that are a little bit higher rep, a little bit lighter weight. And again, both are really challenging to use in various free weight bodybuilding stuff, which I really like to integrate into the workouts. And then a bench. So a bench, again, there's so many things that you can do with a bench. The box is fantastic, but I don't particularly want to do a dumbbell press off the box. It's a little bit hard. It is made of wood. If you wanted to do that, like, fine. But for me, the luxury of having a bench was definitely something I didn't want to miss out on. And the benches are absolutely awesome. And in terms of the pricing of it, it's just great to have that there when it doesn't cost hundreds and hundreds. It's something that we can use. You can even do bench jump overs, bench jump on. You can do step ups. So if you wanted a box or a bench, you can choose and have a little look at what you're going to do for both. But the bench was the other thing for me. The final thing I wanted to discuss was the flooring. So I've already kind of talked about why the flooring, but the flooring was an essential purchase for me to think about using this place for heat, to make it clean and just also stable and safe in terms of lifting. So the final purchase that people really don't think about if they're doing something as a home-based gym is the floor. And speak to the guys at Black Box, tell them where it is that you're trying to floor out, and they will give you the best recommendation in terms of what you need from the makeup of it and how much it's going to cost. But don't forget your floor. So for me, that's all the pieces of equipment that I've got for my home gym. It's everything that I need, and in terms of future lockdowns at the moment, or just not being able to get to the gym, there's nothing that I come in here and I'm just stuck without doing workouts. There is workout after workout that I can do, and accessory work. And also, it's been amazing to see, from being a smashed up old garage with bits everywhere, spiders flying out, a little bit of paint and an awful lot of interjection from Black Box has made this space completely different in the past week of changing it over.